Hello dear viewer, your spurned lover Murdoch X here, and I thought that this week it would be fun to talk about the B-movie game. I prepared by playing the game a bunch and then doing some research. It turns out this is a meme-heavy subject, which I was unaware of. As an old man, memes make me grumpy, but the internet is a powerful force and I think that I'm just going to have to run with it this time. For the rest of this video, anytime I say the word B, I will play this clip of Patrick Warburton's character in the B movie yelling B. Also, this game is loaded with terrible dad jokes and I'll be playing an obnoxious laugh track whenever they come up. This is going to be horrible. This is a horrible game review. Why am I doing this?
You know, you're shorter in person than you look on TV.
I'm told the camera adds 5 millimeters.
First and foremost, this game was developed by Beanox, because who else would make the B-movie game? Settle in, folks. This is going to keep happening.
He's touched our hearts and our venom bladders.
Beanox is a game development company in Quebec City, Quebec. Before making the B-movie game, the majority of their work was porting existing games to PC and Mac. I did a little bit of digging around on the internet in hopes of finding some interesting trivia about this company, but if they've ever had any scandals or disgruntled employees, it's being kept quiet. Tabernacle.
Your mug is on a mug, for B's sake. There's even a video game.
I hadn't heard about the video game.
As far as the story in the game goes, it seems to be the same as the movie, but there are some minor changes due to licensing. That is to say, there's no Ray Liotta or B. Larry King in the game.
College is one of the most challenging times in a young bee's life.
Yes, I remember. I went to BU.
Oh yeah, me too. Well, it really is the only school.
Go BU.
Let's jump in and talk about the game though. This is a mashup of open world events with a handful of minigames scattered around that must be completed to move forward. On top of that, there are loads of Quicktime Events that have a cinematic feel to them. In between these gameplay elements are loads of cutscenes that are nice and long, although filled with these terrible dad jokes.
Wait till the girls at the nail place hear my Barry graduated BU with straight B's. None of their sons graduated with straight B's.
The B-movie game puts you inside of the Hive, which is a hub world where you can access cars, minigames, your home, and the entrances to story events. The Hive is in 2 levels with an elevator connecting them. From here you can walk, fly, or jump into a car to get around. In order to push the story forward in the game, you will be required to play some minigames before the next chapter will unlock.
We're about to embark on the next stage of life.
Which leaves us only 1 stage away from death. We're a 2-stage species, you know.
Let's talk about these minigames, as they are a big part of this title. First up is Honeycomb Collector. Catch golden honeycomb and don't catch burnt honeycomb. I believe that minigames are a lazy way to fill in a video game with more content, and this is one of those situations. While there is nothing innovative going on here, I do enjoy this stupid minigame. All of these minigames start off with an easy level and harder ones unlock as you progress. In this game, you move left and right. Catch the good stuff, don't catch the bad stuff. Next minigame!
Just give it a chance. Who knows? You might like it.
That's what you said about B Pilates. I still can't extend this arm all the way out.
The next minigame is Cabdriver. Drive around in a cab, pick up people, and drop them off elsewhere. This is kind of fun, but I got to a point where the game seemed to break. It wasn't showing me where to go on the minimap. That may have been a new aspect of the minigame, but I think it's more likely that this was a glitch.
Honey is brewed here 24/7, 365 days a year.
What about leap year?
Every 4 years, on February 29th, all workers are treated to a free spa day, followed by a concert in the park.
Wow, really?
No, just kidding. We make honey that day, too.
Oh.
Similar to Cabdriver is racing. This is an attempt to do a Kart Racer thing and it fails. It's clunky and frustrating. You get an early lead and just use any items you gain instantly. If you don't get that early lead, just go ahead and start over. You won't catch up.
How'd you not know it was me? Don't you have caller ID?
Nah, I don't want some guy messing with my antenna. It's unnatural.
Car Mechanic is the next minigame, and this is more of what you can expect throughout the game. It's a Quicktime event, just not as pretty as the ones throughout the storyline parts. We'll come back to those. This isn't fun, and it seems like the time continues to count down when cutscenes happen between sessions. Don't let the cutscenes play, you're losing valuable time. Not sure why no one thought to have the game pause while the game wasn't playable, but I think we all know what we're getting into with this game. Did you know they charged full price for this when it was released? Yeah, this broken minigame you're looking at is part of a $50 title.
Ever since I was a larva, the only thing I've heard about is honey. Every minute of the day. It's honey this and honey that. Honey, honey, honey. Everything is honey. Well, there's also wax, but mostly it's honey.
Okay, let's just power through the rest of these and move on. Crane operator. Grab the thing when it comes to the edge of the conveyor belt, but before it falls off. Honey drafter is sort of like whack-a-mole. Fill empty cups with honey, and refill your honey occasionally. And finally, the last game is food delivery. I think. I can't verify this because I never played it. You see, the game crashed on me. My copy of the disc does have some light scratches on it, so that may have been the problem, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was due to some software crash.
Spiders spin webs, silkworms weave silk, snails. Well, I don't know what they do, but you know what I'm saying.
So let's go back to the hub world. After completing enough of the minigames, we can hop into our car and run into things on our way to the next part of the story. These moments are a mix of cinematic QuickTime events and an open world exploration mode. The QuickTime events are obnoxious. In fact, Beanox knew they were obnoxious because they put warnings about them in the loading screens. There are a lot of moments where the screen will show something coming up on the right, but the arrow tells you to dodge by moving to the left side. It's counterintuitive and you have to tune out the visuals and follow the arrows. This is a strange design decision. It does create a Simon Says kind of challenge, but I don't like it. It wasn't too difficult to get used to, but QuickTime events are low effort programming, and let's be clear, this is a low effort video game.
You know, that was amazing, Jeanette. It was really almost like being there.
Well, we are broadcast in BHD. It has twice the stripes of BTV.
Wow, twice the stripes.
Some good news though is the open world areas outside of the hive tend to be the most enjoyable to play. The Pollinating Flowers aspect is my favorite part of the game, but it turns out it's unnecessary most of the time. You can home in on flowers that are loaded up with pollen to fill your squirt gun thing and find other flowers that are dying and inject some of your sweet, sweet flower spores. But be careful though. Sometimes dragonflies show up for aerial combat. This part of the game brings in some nice tension. You shoot at the dragonflies when they're in your missile range and dodge the missiles they shoot back at you. The dodging can be tricky as it's hard to time, but as long as you focus on taking out these enemies before moving on to other aspects of the stage, you should be fine.
So you had an itch?
Well, I'm not sure it was an itch exactly. There was definitely some tingling, bordering on a Jones, but a little short of a yen.
Another aspect of these outdoor stages is dealing with rain. You have a slow motion ability that lets you maneuver past individual drops of water, but it's on a timer, so you'll need to make it to a dry area before this runs out. Should you try to make it to that garbage can? Perhaps it's possible to get under that human's umbrella. Oh, the umbrella thing. So you can sort of cling to people's umbrellas and get past the rain, but be careful with this. I found one spot where if you hold on for too long, you end up outside of the play area, and it's difficult to get back in.
It's been said that just a mere sight of the outside can drive a bee mad.
Oh, that's just an old wasp's tale.
In the non-hive stages, there are also these gust tunnel things. When you're using one of these in a raining area, you'll still have to dodge drops of water, which can be difficult as they twist and turn. Also, there was one of these gust tunnels that killed me every time I tried to use it. There's no way to get out of one of these things once you're in, so just ride it out and good luck. These look pretty rad, but they're just not fun.
Adam, hey, come in. I just took a picture of more clams than I've ever seen before.
Oh, right. What do you think they charge for a seafood platter around here?
No, I meant money. Oh, never mind. Meet me in the back section.
Now, I realize that I'm harping on this game a lot because it does have its share of problems, but I do enjoy playing it most of the time. This stage where you sneak around taking pictures of humans' email to get the code for the hidden safe was a good time. These parts of the game are cool and the cutscenes are well executed. Well, if you can stand all of the horrible bee puns and dad jokes.
No, we spy on him. Be a fly on the wall, get it?
Yeah. Wait. I hate flies.
There are unlockable items like cars and clothing, as well as video games that can be purchased with the in-game money, and while I didn't mess with this very much, it is a nice feature that adds some replayability to this title. So let's go ahead and break it down with my flower-loving MSRB rating. We'll start with the good. The open world aspect of the hive and the outdoor areas are nice and one of the few aspects of the game that didn't feel rushed. Then there's the flower pollinating. This is an interesting gameplay element that feels great. Big fan of this. And of course there's the cutscenes. This game is heavy on the story, which isn't a bad thing. Also, there's plenty of grade A celebrity voice work. And now for the bad. A large portion of this game is Quicktime Events. A handful would have been alright, and they do look nice, but it's lazy and poorly implemented much of the time. Let's talk about this mid-boss right here. This took 22 minutes for me to get through. I didn't lose and have to retry, it just takes that long. It hurts your hand if you play it the way you're told to, and this is unacceptable. I almost rage quit this game when I thought I had finished this fight, and it turned out that was just the first third of the battle. Also, there are some other battles that are just about as bad as this one too. Next up is the minigames. One of them is fun. Some of them are broken. All of them are lazy. Speaking of broken, I ran into a handful of glitches. From pushing through the walls to the unplayable taxi game round, these ruin what is already kind of a bad game. And finally, there's the dad jokes. I'll let you be the judge of which side they belong on.
Do you like the law, Barry?
I do. For a bee, if you want justice, you usually have to sting someone.
This game is fun enough, and if you enjoy the story, there's plenty of it here, but there's no way this game can be given a rating over 5. It's a subpar title with bugs and plenty of gameplay that just isn't enjoyable. There are fun parts, but they make up less than half of the game. It's a 4.
Don't 4 until you've seen the hexagonal patterns of their eyes!
Now look, if this is a game you grew up with and you love it, that's okay. I love Ghostbusters on the Sega Master System, and that's a terrible game. Go ahead and like crappy games. We all do it.
As always, remember, dogs, birds, frogs, hockey sticks, tennis rackets, brooms, and rolled-up magazines are not your friends!
Hell, tell me what crappy games you enjoy by typing them into the little text box down below. Push enter when you're done. B.